about carried more as an example of the ideal form of food and drug regulation if we were to start over from scratch again today by creating an example in Prospera, which is an economic zone on Honduras, which does not currently have an FDA. So it seems like a good opportunity to come up with a new way that we could accelerate clinical research and reduce the cost of developing interventions. So until after about 1940 is when they started requiring safety trials. And then efficacy trials were done by kind of crowdsourcing case reports from the 144,000 physicians in the American Medical Association, who then sent those, would give their patients the opportunity to try experimental drugs if nothing else worked, and if they had passed safety trials. And then, like the foremost expert in that field was at the time, would compile these and then publish reports on the safety and efficacy of drugs in the Journal of the American Medical Association. And during this time, we saw an average 4-year per year increase in human lifespan, which is like very strangely linear from the creation of the Journal of the American Medical Association until 1962. And immediately in the 50s, there's the thalidomide disaster, which resulted in, I think, thousands or tens of thousands of deformities. However, safety trials in the United States prevented anyone from experiencing that here, yet there's still a lot of popular horror from this and demand for increased regulation, which resulted in the Kiefer-Harris Amendment, or the Drug Efficacy Amendment, which then basically outlawed the previous efficacy trial methodology, and then required drug companies to be in charge of efficacy trials and select the ideal endpoints in advance of efficacy data. And at that time, due to the increased regulation, there was a decrease from an average of 30 new approved interventions a year down to 90, so that's a 70% reduction suddenly in interventions that correlates very highly with that sudden change in the slope of the increase in lifespan from 4 years per year until 2 years per year. So it may be a coincidence, but if you do believe that medical interventions will have the potential to save lives, then it kind of makes intuitive sense. And at that time, around 1960, it was inflation adjusted to 2020 dollars. It was about $74 million to develop and get a drug through approval. And since then, it's gone up to about 16 times that. And so there are a lot of different factors for this. But we believe that there's... Okay. So, okay, I'll skip all that. Oh, yeah. What? Oh, yeah. So the problem is that it's impossible to kind of take a picture of all of the people who have died as a result of interventions that never existed. So there's just like an article that I made to describe that. And then, let me see here. And then we have another huge problem, which is most clinical trials are not super externally valid due to the exclusion criteria. Therefore, our proposal is that we should preserve the traditional like phase 1 and phase 2 safety trials. There's not and good clinical practices and all the standard stuff that is very good about the FDA. But in a new FDA, it would be preferable if we had larger scale, diverse efficacy trials that looked at a wide array of outcomes. Because with the current system, personalized medicine is pretty much impossible if you're looking at little small cohorts that are not representative of the broad population, therefore not providing you with data, facilitating stratification, and then looking at personalized outcomes. Yeah, so our goal is to create an automated system by which, this is the... Go ahead. Yeah, okay.
Just close it up.
One
Here you
minute.
go.
Yeah, 1 or 2 minutes.
Yeah.
By the questions that were suggested, the first one is, what is the most undervalued area for longevity progress we should pursue? I would personally argue that a poll of the longevity community at this point in time would say that changing regulation is the most important thing, and that it's not technical progress, it's not the legitimacy of the field anymore, it's not investment availability, it is the FDA's stance towards allowing research. So this is actually already, I think, really valued. It's just people haven't really agreed on what to do about it.
Yeah. Okay, so we have several ideas there. The practical ones, like first one, merge phase 3 and phase 4. Make it easier. Give the patients, the right to decide whether they want to risk their health or not. Just educate them on the trial, design and stuff. And the second one is, use IT online platforms as Michael's one, for instance. So, and you have to use these things together. Like it's the platform plus stage 3 and 4 merging. It won't work, I think, other way. And another very important thing about it, this platform has to be 100% transparent, open. That's the only way for the platform to be trusted by FDA and all of the authorities. And there's a list of tiny other things there that we propose, but the main thing, be as specific as possible, what do we need, funding, stuff like that. Funding, yes, of course. I think we have to run a huge event, maybe a Foresight event on this topic, because there are a lot of professionals, like FDA guys, CRO guys, big pharma company guys. They probably know more than us about it. So yeah, maybe run an event for starters.
Cool, yeah.
If there's one common theme across all presentations, it's more events and conferences on this type of stuff. So if anything, we have a list of conferences to run now. So thanks, guys, for that. That's very useful.